Fantastic. Yeah, we're going back to the 90s. Right. So, of course, when it comes to all things love and how to decipher all of it, we are all stumbling in the dark. But we have one guy. He's certified. All right. Maurice Wadaka, he's here. Good morning.
Morning.
Are you a certified love guru?
I don't know about the guru,
Okay.
but certified, yes.
Oh, fantastic. Tell me
Yes,
about
in
yourself.
sexology. Well, who's Maurice? Maurice is just a humble guy who just once upon a time just wanted to study how people behave, especially in the sexual context.
Okay.
So that's me. I'm known as a sex therapist, guru.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, speaking, of course, about relationships
Right.
and love and marriage, it seems that we lost our footing somewhere because we as Kenyans have come from, I guess, a past where we saw marriage as a certain institution, but now it seems like it's all over the place. When you think about infidelity, when you think about sponsors, sugar mamas, all of it, it's just a mess. Where did we lose our kind of
I think
direction?
matrimony has just evolved because of the societal influences we have today. We've kind of taken away the whole traditional and cultural look at marriage. And I think a lot of variables, the social variables we have today, the dynamics they don't give us the avenue to sustain a lot of relationships.
Okay.
So really, I don't think marriage is a problem. It's the people within the marriage and the choices they have to make.
Okay.
There's a lot of incompatibilities because today, if you look at, for example, are you single?
Yes, I am.
You are.
I'm not
So
married.
so if you're looking for a guy, what's your criteria?
Wow. Okay, I didn't expect this. Tall, dark, no.
Okay,
I
forget
mean-
the tall. Yeah.
I think
Most
somebody-
guys are not that tall anyway. so-
Right. I think somebody who just understands who I am and allows me the freedom and room to be.
Should
who
he
I
have a
am.
job?
Yes, he should have a job. I work. I wake up early to be here. I
How
think
much should he earn? Should he earn more than you or less?
I'm not very fussy on that, to be very honest.
You're not fussy?
No, I'm not.
Right.
Yeah.
Usually when I hear a woman say that, I just take it with a pinch of salt. You will be
Okay.
fussy because assuming you take home, I don't know, let's say 200K.
Okay.
Are you going to be okay with the guy who takes home 30,000?
Realistically, no.
Exactly.
Because
You
it
see,
is going to
that's-
have problems. I mean, the relationship will probably have dynamics, power dynamics,
Right.
that kind of thing, of course. Yeah.
Yes. Now, the variable when it comes to men is there are too many of them who are trying to impress and trying to live standards they can't really maintain. And it's fine when you and I meet and we start a relationship and, the whole beginning will go quite well.
Right.
The euphoria of the relationship will be fine. But after the dust settles, what happens? I'll look at you and go like, oh my God, she's now become a deficit. You're an expense.
Right.
I had fun before when I was treating you out all these dinners and maybe a holiday or two, but now you're an expense because now you're daily, you're a constant expense. Immediately I start resent you. So whatever liking or loving I had towards you, it kind of diminishes. I think those are the variables that are not sustaining relationships because everyone is trying to be something they're not. There's a question I always ask women. That guy who earns 30, 50, 100K, who's he going to get married to? And it's unfortunate a lot of women will tell me, well, tough luck for him.
Right.
He should work harder, but we can't all be millionaires. Can we?
Right. No, we
Not
can't.
all men will be equal, regardless of how hard you work.
All right, but do you believe that somewhere, and money is obviously going to be the underlying thread over this, do you believe
For
that...
women.
No, for men too. For
No.
men too. I think it works both ways because men use money to attract, the hot
There you
chicks.
go. We need it
And really?
to attract you. But trust me, if there was another avenue that was easier on our pocket, we would take that avenue gladly.
So, okay, so are you saying that women are driven by money rather than love? and-
Today, for example, I heard you mention about the old school relationship with your parents.
Yes.
Our mothers, our grandparents, the women started from an infant stage with their husband, whether they were in a 2x2 room or whatever. And then later on came the mansions. But this woman pushed the man to be better. Today, a lot of women want the self-made man.
Instead.
Now, I cannot be the self-made man. Then you suddenly come into my life, and then you want to run my life and behave like we made everything that I made alone together. How does that work? Now, I will be very good at luring you because I have the money. But at the back of my head, I'm just thinking, well, at some point she's going to have an expiry date. When the
Really?
thrill is over. Yes, because at the end of the day, we've not made anything together. Do you get my point?
I get your point. Is this how all men really reason?
I'm not going to talk for all men,
Right.
but I'm going to talk for the men that I meet that
Okay.
are in that particular situation. You see, at the end of the day, are there couples that have functional relationships in Kenya?
Yes.
But you're not going to hear about them because they have nothing to complain about. The ones we hear about are the ones who are complaining. But majority of women are complaining about men not being men. Well, let's start with saying that maybe men are not being men because the things that used to drive men before don't drive them today.
Okay.
Our fathers were driven by the fact that they had a family, they had kids, and that made them a man. My kids can go to this school. Today, you have a man who has money. The man who has money. He has kids, he has a wife. But his priority is not to cater for his children. His priority is to buy a bike and start gallivanting around Kenya with a bike and buy a new car and then join a club. Maybe it's a BMW club or a Golf GTI club. I think the whole societal notion of the family setting, the picket fence and a dog and a cat, it's dying.
It's dying. Okay.
It is totally dying.
But okay, we're going to talk, of course, about how do we kind of rein in the good parts of this, because right now I'm depressed just from that one statement. But we have a caller on the line. His name is You're Gone. I think he wants to contribute to this interesting conversation. Good morning.
Good morning, Gobi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine. What about you?
I'm excellent, sir. You have a question or comment for Maurice? Say hi first, though.
I have a comment.
Okay, go ahead.
So I was just saying that in relationship or in marriage today,
Uh-huh.
people should go back to those small habits that they used to do.
Yeah.
For example, even bringing her a glass of water,
Okay.
ironing her clothes. It's not about money or buying her a gift like a big Range Rover.
Yes.
Yeah, in fact, my older grandfather was telling me that
Uh-huh.
during their times, during their days, they could go to the house of their girlfriends only to throw stones
Yeah.
so that they can feed them. Not that they were missing, not that they wanted sex,
Yes.
but they were missing just to seeing them.
Oh, exactly. So it was just that simple. The older days were just so simple.
Yeah, so people should go back to those small things that we used to do even in our during our school days.
Thank you, Yegon. Thank you for that great comment. Have a wonderful day. What can you say to that? Is it realistic?
Okay, people are not going
Ironing
back
shirts.
anywhere. With the days of Instagram and social media and the clubbing and just things have changed.
Socialites, and they're all hot. All of them.
Okay, hot is relative, but yes,
Okay.
we're in the era of socialites,
Right.
which for me is more like legalized prostitution, but that's my opinion.
Okay.
Because if you look at Instagram today, it's a perception of a life that most of them are not living. Have you ever seen an Instagram photo that has, Mama Mboga in the background,
Yeah.
maybe a
dirty
cuckoo,
room. Yeah.
maybe
no.
you're in shags with shushu and stuff like that.
Yeah.
One of those malnourished dogs in the background. No, it's always a palm tree, a nice car, a beach, a swimming pool. There's always this wow. And today, when you look at the male species, that is a hunting ground for now what is called a sponsor.
Right.
Back then, we used to have that guy who would take you out, maybe, send you some M-Pesa to do your hair or shoes. Now a sponsor is a specific kind of guy.
Okay.
The guy who caters for most of your expenses. He's usually of a certain age because of the fact that he now has disposable cash. It's all down to cash.
But this sponsor.
Rather than character.
Rather than character.
Yeah.
This sponsor, and I'm drawing to the point that, infidelity is becoming the norm. Most of this, label is put on men who are married, and it's becoming normal. There was a survey done, actually, and it was in the papers a couple of weeks ago of,
Was it done
young
by?
people.
Right, yes.
It was in the Daily Nation. Young
Okay.
people, a poll saying sponsors, that they actually 33% have sponsors and 62% believe that it's okay to have a sponsor between the age of 18 and 24.
Right.
So it is becoming the norm. But fact of the matter is that homes are being broken. Wives are sitting at home wondering where their husbands are. Children are wondering what is happening to their dad and mom. It is a mess.
Okay. Now, just to take you back, before the whole sponsorship title came in, it used to be the fact, or rather, the notion that men don't like to spend money. Every time a man looks at his wife, he just thinks, God, that's an expense.
Yeah.
She's going to ask me for school fees. She wants to go on holiday, shopping. But today, just to tell you how men are triggered by their egos, men have now taken on the sponsorship title. It's suddenly not become an expense. It's become a way of showing their status. So the guys who have a heavy pocket and their wallet can afford it are the ones who've taken on the sponsorship. And they're proud to be sponsors. But, you see, there is a smokescreen in terms of you're a sponsor, yes. You're sponsoring somebody because you want to, at the end of the day, impress them. But look at it this way. Does it make sense that this guy has disposable cash? He can take you to Spain, but when you look at his home, his fridge is half full.
Yeah.
His kids are not eating as usual. Why? Because he's decided to redirect his finances elsewhere. Yes, are there sponsors who are able to take care of one woman and take care of their wives? Yes.
Okay.
But today, even that guy who does not have that much financial power, he's taken on the sponsorship thing because he wants to be known as, yeah, I'm a sponsor. I'm part of the club.
Okay.
Absolute nonsense, if you ask me.
We're going to talk about, so what happens to the young men who are on entry-level jobs, the 30K job that you're talking about? What happens to that demographic of young men?
I've got the answer.
Okay, fantastic. He's got the answer for you guys, all right? So don't worry. You're going to get hooked up. AM Live is about loving you. All right. Good morning. We have another caller. Danu?
Yes, sorry.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, I'm good.
Okay, great. Now we got you clear. You have a question or comment for Maurice, Danu?
Yes, I wanted to ask Maurice one thing, yeah?
Uh-huh.
Because every time a woman decides to choose a certain man, there's always people complaining and saying, oh, she's like this or like that. And women should just accept any man who comes their way. Like we have no choice.
Okay.
Yes, and then when she ends up with a man who has money,
Yeah.
people are always calling her gold digger and stuff, like she doesn't have real love.
Yes, girl.
But when she ends up with someone who is less privileged, no one talks. So are women born to go with these men who are not much privileged?
Yeah, okay.
Is that how it should be?
Right. Wow. I don't even know how that became the yardstick. Thank you, Danu. Yeah. Should you be a gold digger or not?
Okay, what is a gold digger? And first and foremost, how do you differentiate from the guy who has money and the guy who doesn't have money?
Okay.
Because it depends on where you hang out. And the reason why I'm asking is because sometimes when you look at the people who are wealthy, the people who don't have to show off that they have money, they just have it.
Yeah.
When they hang out, they usually don't go to all the affluent social places.
Right.
They'll go and park their really nice car in a very dingy pub. Why? Because that guy believes that I'm saving by buying a beer at 180.
Exactly. And Jogonas.
And
He
yes,
was fine. Yeah.
yes, or somewhere else.
Yeah.
And if you dare charge him 5 bob extra, he's a millionaire, but he's going to ask, this extra 5 bob, what's happening? And if you see his logic, because I've sat down with those kind of older guys,
Yeah.
and they will tell you, well, that 5 bob, if you add it to other 5 bobs, makes $1 million. So while other people are spending it and not looking after it, I am.
Yeah.
That's why I still have money. So really, just because you hang out somewhere, like for example, just because you hang out to an affluent place in Westland,
Right.
it doesn't mean that you have the money. As Kenyans say, you fake it till you make it.
Okay.
Hence why there's a lot of guys who dress well, smell good, great shoes, but that guy will never take you to his house. You'll always end up at your house.
Yes.
Because he doesn't have a house. He has an SQ. You see where I'm going with this?
Okay, yes, I do. I
Yeah,
do.
so really-
Okay, but her question is,
Yes.
in terms of, I guess, the choice now.
Okay. Kenyans are good at trumping you down.
Okay.
Kenyans will never uplift you. That's just fact.
Okay.
So women, all I can tell you is just take it as it is. You're going to be seen with a rich guy and you're going to be called a gold digger. Let's put it this way. Probably the person calling you a gold digger envies the fact that you're with that person.
Okay.
Are there gold diggers out there? Yes, there are. Are there women who just want better things in life? Yes, there are. Each to
And
their
it's
own.
okay, right?
Yes. But at the end of the day, if somebody's talking a lot about you, there must be something intriguing or interesting about you. Because usually we don't discuss boring people, do we?
No, we don't.
There you
You're
go.
right.
Yeah.
So, okay, I want to ask this question about, I guess, the wife who knows that the husband
Yes.
has a side chick, has somebody that he's sponsoring.
Okay.
She's got kids. She's been in this marriage for over a decade.
Right.
She's given it her all. She saw this guy from entry level to CEO,
Right.
and she's fine. She's gonna stay in this marriage because why should she give it up for a 21-year-old hot chick? What do you say to that woman? What should she do to revive her marriage, to get her husband back, to fix it?
Okay, to be honest, in most cases, you're not going to get him back.
Okay. Really?
Yeah, because it's not that you lost him. He decided to leave. You see, at the end of the day, getting him back doesn't mean, if he lives with you, doesn't mean you have him. And psychologically, if he's lost that lustfulness for you, this is beyond love. I mean, how many men say, I love you, and then they come home at 4 a.m.? So that's not really love. It's just the fact that they're just accustomed to saying things that women want to hear. So if you ask me, first and foremost, I think the woman is just there because of our societal unwritten rules that a woman can't leave because that shows failure in a woman.
Yeah.
That's a Kenyan society thing. Maybe we should upgrade that. It's a bit outdated now.
Okay.
But you see, one thing I do know, because I'm in this business,
Yeah.
women won't settle. So the man will do his thing and she'll accept, okay, fine, he's got another life. But women today also have a life themselves. Now, where I have a problem with people is this. My job is not to protect women or men. My job is just deal with facts.
Okay.
I have a problem with men, and now let me just face the camera. I have
Yeah,
a
that's
problem,
yours, number 3
is that
right
mine?
there.
Yes.
Yes.
I have a problem with men who, for some reason, can't logic that if they're out with other women, and most of the time because of the social dynamic, it's other people's wives, I find it strange that they think their wife will never have a life as well.
Oh.
When you're out clubbing, she's out clubbing as well. Unless you're going to chain her to the house, which is illegal.
So it's happening.
It's happening. I mean, at the end of the day, today I always tell people, for example, your biggest threat as a woman today is not like back in the day. Your biggest threat is not a campus chick. Because assuming on your social circles, if she can't afford those social circles, she'll only be introduced to those social circles by somebody who can afford that circle. So your biggest threat today is another woman just like you. A grown woman who has a car, she's got money, and she's able to wine and dine your man because you've not done that for years. That's your biggest threat.
Wow.
So at the end of the day, while you have your sidekick, women, you see the thing is, fortunately for men, women have been dormant for many years. You're far better players than us. And now that you're showing us exactly how it's
Because
done.
we're the rookies. We're coming in new
No, you're
and
not,
fresh.
you're not the rookies.
Yeah.
You are just, when a woman is doing her game, everybody's in the loop. Her mother's in the loop, her grandparents are in the loop, everybody, her girlfriends. I mean, if she's caught because she wants to get caught.
Okay.
Men don't have anybody in the loop. So when you as a wife call a friend, were you with James last night? James? No, I didn't see him last night. There you go. James lied. But somehow, all your girlfriends will know exactly what to tell me. Was she? Yes, she was. And blah, 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 blah. So unless you want to be caught, you won't be caught.
Okay, very interesting. Okay, we have Patrick on the line who wants to ask a question or comment. Good morning. Hi, Patrick.
Hello, Kobe.
How are you?
I'm really fine.
Interesting discussion, huh?
Yeah, this is a really super topic, yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Do you have a question or comment for Morris?
A comment and a question for your guest.
Wonderful. Go ahead.
First and foremost is to congratulate him for the good work.
He's brilliant.
Yeah, also my question is, I have one problem.
Yes.
Every time, I never miss, when I look at a lady,
Yeah.
and nikisema nampata hiyo lazima nipate. Then the other thing,
If you chase her, you will get her.
yeah.
Oh, you have a gift then, Patrick.
So, but now the problem is,
Yeah?
immediately I get her, then, when shit happens,
Keeping her is a problem.
yeah. So I don't have interest on her, so that's the problem.
So you lose, you like the chase, you catch them, but holding on to them, you lose interest.
Yeah, after whatever.
You're so hilarious, Patrick. I like you.
Also,
Talk to him. Okay, what else? What other problems?
About the issue of sponsorship,
Yeah.
and it is robbing us the campus ladies. You saw the other day, one of our own was murdered by his girlfriend.
Yeah. I mean, it's a mess, which is why we're having this discussion. But let's go back to your first question. Please talk to this guy. He's the guy.
Okay, first let's look at the fact that you are chasing because you love the chase.
Okay.
You're not chasing to acquire and own a woman and love her. You just want to bite into the apple, and once you taste it, you go like, "Ooh, that was good. Next, please." So you're not looking for stability or anything. You're just being a man. Your primal instincts are just working. You're just being a hunter. Whether it's a phase, I don't know. Whether it's just been your personality, I don't know. Sometimes men are slowed down either by death or just age. So all I can tell him is he doesn't have an issue. His issue is he's not looking for a girlfriend.
Or love.
He's just looking. He sees a woman and he goes like, there. What he's craving comes from the fact that he can pursue and conquer.
I want to address the flip side of that. Is that he is, going through all these people are human. They're women with feelings and emotions. Patrick, are you just, what is he telling them? What is the expectation? It's not fair, Maurice.
Yeah, but guess what, my dear? As much as you're calling them human,
yes,
most women usually know bullshit when they see it.
Okay.
Their instincts normally tell them that this guy is going to waste my time. But women have another thing called the hope factor. I can change him. I can love him. He can learn to love me. And then that doesn't work. Yeah, so at the end of the day, nobody's putting a gun to your face.
Okay.
And trust me, you're a woman. You know when a guy is just playing you up.
He's just not that into you.
Yeah,
Right.
and the thing is, maybe at the time you just like the attention and you hope it goes somewhere. And it doesn't. And you push on.
All right.
Yeah.
We had a discussion recently on being single, and we took a poll here on AM Live, and we told people to write in.
Yeah.
It was amazing. The hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of emails that we got of people looking to get hooked up.
Yeah.
And we realized that there's a huge issue when it comes to the single demographic. Is it about expectations? And is it, are we being realistic in the people that we're looking for, the mates that we're looking to spend the rest of our lives with? And then, of course, we'll talk about when after it happens.
Okay. Are we realistic? No.
Okay.
Are expectations a bit too high? Yes.
Okay.
But which gender has the highest expectation?
You?
No. It's the
No,
woman.
men do
No,
have
no,
a very, Kenyan
no.
men do have a very
no,
high
no.
expectation on women. You
No,
do?
no. Our expectation is that your panties drop sooner than later. That's our first expectation. Let's just be real here. I thought we're in this show to be real, so let's be real. That's our first expectation. That at some point...
I apologize.
No, no, don't apologize, because your viewers know
Yes.
exactly what I'm talking about.
Okay.
That's a man's first expectation. I know we like flower things up.
Yes.
Yeah, or like I like you for you. I love your eyes. Really, there's nothing about eyes that really seduces. But we learn,
Yeah.
based on societal learning,
Okay.
the things that we can tell women. Now, all I'm saying is the expectations when it comes to a woman are very high because sometimes you're trying to push a guy who has reached a certain limit. That's why I said even that guy who used to earn 20,000 and now he earns 200,000, that's probably his cap now. Yes, he's aspiring to be his boss, but everybody else in the company is also aspiring to be boss. Somebody somewhere is going to have to follow a certain pecking order.
Okay.
That's just fact. Now, I can tell you this because I've talked to a lot of single guys
Okay.
who are between the ages of 25 and 35. There's one little social dynamic that men are afraid of, and I understand where they're coming from. Let's deal with realities here. It's the fact that I'll meet a woman like you who's accepted me for me with my 50K, and we get into a relationship. I totally invest in you. I even get that puppy love. You know, the one thing about men is when a man has puppy love for you, that's real love. That's the way a man, and it looks soft, so some women don't like it.
Okay.
So the men who harden themselves probably don't have puppy love. So you wonder why the relationship is not working out. So back to this guy who's invested his entire love and heart. His fear is this. He knows Team Mafisi is real.
Okay.
So he meets this guy in this social gathering, and this guy tells him, hey, I can take you to Mombasa. I can take you to Zanzibar. This guy is saving you to take you to Naivasha. Just one holiday. He's saving. There's a guy you've just met who can take you to Zanzibar, and then you can go and have lunch in South Africa. Do you get my point?
Yes, I do.
And the truth of the matter is, the women who would get onto that plane, considering they're used to driving to Naivasha, are many. Now, as a man, my defense is, why even bother with all that? Let me not give my heart to a woman, but let me just play the man game. We're good at that. I can love you right now. My dear, I can love you for 9 months. What happens after that, I do not know. But I can love you because I've told myself, let me love her. But it has an expiry date because this is artificial.
Wow.
We're very good at that. Because at the end of the day, if you end up with another man, I'll be slightly hurt, not that much hurt. Now, that's the defense mechanism that men have. That's what I was saying. For that guy who does not earn a lot, yes, in regards to what women stages a lot.
And that's the bigger demographic of
yes,
men.
to be honest, men are resilient. You see, we are about ego.
Yeah.
And yeah, you're beautiful, you're fly, but guess what? I can still go to another area that's not very affluent, and that pretty girl, that when I send her 1,000 bob and M-Pesa, and she goes like, oh my God, Maurice, you're so romantic. That's all I need. That's all. Suddenly, you're not very attractive right now.
Right.
Because you are an expense. So it's not that that guy doesn't have somebody, but sometimes, like you're saying, you're single. Do you know how many guys look at you on TV and just go like, wow, I'll date her, but even if I met her, I'll probably buy a drink and walk away. Do you know why? Because their perception of you is just expensive. There's a guy who looks at you and goes like, she's probably wearing my salary. It's true.
Really?
It's true.
It's not true.
It is true. Do you know how we profile women? Based on all things, how you dress. If I look at your shoe and that shoe looks like a percentage of my salary, that's a problem. If I look at the car you're driving and I'm thinking, wow, that's a big car. To fuel that car, you must at least have 5K. We've not even moved. That's just fueling the car. And I have to fuel the car, assuming we're using your car.
Right.
Those are the little things that we look at.
Oh, wow.
Especially if I'm looking at you, somebody that I'm going to be waking up with every single day. If I just want a thrill, then I can do it just for the thrill. But a lot of guys out there, contrary to what people say, actually want to be in relationships. The problem is, how can you be in a relationship where the dynamic states that you can be left just because another guy suddenly got a promotion and you didn't?
This is too much. We have to have Maurice back on the show. I think we have to. You're brilliant. I really want to decipher and get to the bottom of this. There's something brilliant you say, if my director can just allow me a minute or so, about now the newlyweds. Once this wonderful couple get married, the wife is sitting there wondering, what's going on? My husband is coming home at 2. What happened? And so there's a lot of disappointment, especially when it comes to new marriages. Can you quickly talk about that?
Yeah. Well, it's simple. When you look at people in a marriage, if you look at the man, his life kind of never changes. He's not conforming to anything marital. Before he got married, he was a boyfriend. He liked playing golf or tennis, whatever.
Watching football.
He likes football, camping, whatever.
Yeah.
Marriage, suit the whole day. Yes, I'm now your husband, you're my wife. Hooray! Honeymoon, back. And then he goes back to being the same man you knew. But you, as a woman, conform to something else. The way you dress, you delete numbers of all your single friends because they're going to be a hindrance in manufacturing a good relationship with your husband. But he's still continuing with his life while you're now a mother. You don't even have kids, but now you're acting like a mother because you want to be maternal suddenly.
Yeah.
Now you want to cook. Before, you never used to cook. You used to do a lot of takeouts. But somebody during the wedding said, now that you're going to be a wife, you need to cook for this man. No more takeouts. So you conform. But the thing is, do men really conform?
No. He's
No.
still watching football. He hasn't
Yes.
cut off any of his friends.
And it's puzzling that you're wondering, why is he watching so much football? Before you met him, he was watching football. Before you met him, FIFA existed. Before you met him, UEFA existed. Before you met him, this is what he did. So if you're going to expect him to change because he's a husband, I mean, ask a lot of husbands what being a husband is. You'd be like, well, it's a title. I'm still a man. You know, nothing's grown big or small on my body. I'm still me.
But why do men expect then the women to conform? And that expectation of submission and everything is...
But that's based on our societal teachings. Let's put it this way. Kenyans behave very differently when they go out of this country and they date other women. They date them and treat them in accordance to how a Western woman should be treated, depending on which country you're in. But suddenly when they land at JKIA, this whiff of traditionalism hits them, and then everybody starts remembering where they're from. I'm a Kamba, I'm a Kikuyu, I'm a Luo, I'm a Luya. But when he was over there, he was just a human being, a Kenyan, who could take out a woman for dinner and, you know, cook for her, you know, pancakes, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Now he's living in a house where he pretends, I don't even know where the kitchen is. We have a kitchen? My God. Wifey, you know where the kitchen is? What is that? That's based on now the fact, an African mentality that suddenly just hits you. Yeah, but are there guys who cook for their girlfriends and wives? Yes, but like I said, we don't hear from them because they are the minority. They're a very small pool of people. And guess why their relationships are working? They avoid all the social dynamics that can cause a problem. So they spend a lot of times with small groups that think alike. If every weekend you're with your girlfriend and your wife in the realm of Team Mafisi, of course you're going to always be arguing over questions like, who's that and why are they staring at you? Which I find a very stupid question. How do you have control over somebody else's eyes? I really wonder why people ask each other these questions.
Maurice, you are amazing. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you
being
for having
here.
me.
Absolutely.
It's
Guys,
been awesome.
He's unbelievable.
Thank you.
He's got, he's online, mauricetherapy.com.
Yes, mauricetherapy.com.
Mauricetherapy.com.
Twitter handle Maurice Therapy.
Yes, and you get a lot of letters.
I'm easy to find. Maurice
Yes.
Madeka, just Google that. And you'll
Okay,
find me.
yes, guys, we're going to connect you to Maurice on our social media platforms so you can get in touch. Really great advice. We're going to have you back for a second chat.
It will be great.
Awesome.
It'll
Thank you
be great.
so much for being here. I could talk to you all day. All right, we asked you a question earlier on the show, which is the world's oldest national park and in which country is it in? And it's pronounced Bogdekhan Ul in Mongolia. I was actually told how it's pronounced. There's an E somewhere in there. Bogdekhan Ul in Mongolia. All right, the winners are... Maurice, do you want to mention the winners? Go ahead.
The winners, Rose Molama, with an R rate, Shimemineni.
Yes, Shimeneni.
Right, okay. And then Liane Meto K, James Onuga.
Onunga.
Right.
Fantastic. Congratulations, Rose, Leanne, and James. You've won yourself some awesome merchandise and some money as well. And Maurice, you'll throw in some free advice for one of our viewers?
Free advice. Just
on that camera.
Right, okay. Just be you, be realistic, live within your means. If you want to have more understanding of love is actually your ability to care for another human being. It's as simple as that. I don't know why people twist it all. If you care about somebody, then you're going to do things that nurture a loving environment. That's how I can best explain it. Thank you for having me.
My pleasure.
It's been real.
Thank you. All right, guys, have a beautiful Tuesday. We'll see you right here tomorrow. Bye.